We're continuing our discourse on effective communication skills, and today, the part 4, we are looking at verbal communication in customer service. We started verbal communication yesterday in part 3. Some of the things that were mentioned yesterday will still be mentioned today with just additional points. Today, we are looking at verbal communication in customer service, and this is a critical aspect of customer experience as it encompasses how service representatives interact with customers through spoken language, including tone, clarity, and style. Effective verbal communication can enhance customer satisfaction, build rapport, and resolve issues efficiently. These are some of the principles and strategies for effective verbal communication in customer service. We already mentioned that verbal communication is either oral or written communication. We established that yesterday. So one of the principles, this is when you are interacting with the customer one-on-one. One of the principles is active listening. Focus on the customer. Pay close attention to what the customer is saying without interrupting them. Show that you value their input. Then seek clarification. If something is unclear, ask open-ended questions to gather more information and demonstrate your commitment to understanding their needs. The second principle is empathy and understanding. We have said much on that in the previous parts. I think from part 1 to part 2 to part 3, we mentioned empathy. Empathy and understanding. Acknowledge feelings. Use phrases like, I understand how frustrating that must be, to show empathy and validate the customer's feelings. Let them know that the pain they are going through, you are also going through it. The best way to have a clear perspective is when you put yourself in the shoes of the customer that is in front of you, or the person you are delivering your service to. It helps you have a whole perspective and put in your best to ensure that the situation is resolved. Be patient. Allow customers to express their concerns fully and respond with understanding, even if their frustration seems misplaced, even if you know that it is not directly your organization's fault. Whatever is it they are complaining about, it could be because they did not fully grasp the terms, of the transactions that took place. No matter what, whether your company is liable or not, it's important to first be understanding of their concern or of their situation. Number 3, which is the third principle of verbal communication in customer service. Use clear and concise language. Avoid jargon. Use simple, clear language that is easy for the customer to understand, especially if they may not be familiar with the industry specific terms. Be direct. Provide straightforward answers to questions and avoid unnecessary details that could confuse the customer. Then the fourth, I think we've also talked majorly on that in part 1, part 2. Even in part 3, you can still get some of this information when you listen to them. The fourth principle of verbal communication in customer service is positive tone and attitude. We mentioned that before. Use a friendly tone. A warm, enthusiastic voice can make customers feel welcomed and valued. Whether you're writing them via text, chats, bots, whatever avenue, whether you are attending to them physically, use a friendly tone, because when you do that, they feel welcomed, and stay positive. Stay positive. Frame your responses positively, even when delivering less than ideal news. For example, instead of saying, I can't do that, say, what I can do is, or this is what I would like to propose, ma, or sir. Stay positive. Like we mentioned earlier, even when you're running late on their appointment. Instead of saying we are very sorry for the delay, you can just say thank you for your patience. Stay on the positive part. It will help reduce the tension in the atmosphere, and it will also make them know that, they have something they are expressing that is valuable to us. It's all about value. Business transaction is all about value. Adaptability. In fact, business transaction is all about value exchange. The fifth, of which we have spoken about also in the previous parts, the fifth principle of verbal customer service is adaptability. Read the customer. Tailor your communication style to match the customer's tone and pace. Some customers may prefer more formal approach, while others may respond better to a casual style. It's not a one size fits all thing. You should be able to know your customer and know how they like to be responded to. Be flexible. Be ready to adjust your communication based on the customer's unique needs and preferences, based on their personality, based on their style. Confirmation and summarization is the next principle of verbal communication in customer service. Summarize key points. After discussing an issue, summarize the main points to ensure clarity and show that you have understood the customer's needs. Confirm actions. At the end of the conversation, confirm any action that will be taken and provide a timeline if applicable. We have also mentioned that in the previous parts. You can listen to them for more details. The next principle of verbal communication in customer service is professionalism. Maintain composure. Stay calm, professional, even in challenging situations or when dealing with an irate customer or an upset customer. We've also dwelt on that. This is just buttressing what we have already dwelt on in the previous parts. So you can listen to the previous parts to get more cues. Use respectful language. Always address the customer respectively. Use appropriate titles and manners. If the person in front of you is a chief, it's not just enough to call him Mr. You can add the chief. If it's a doctor, you can add the doctor in front of it. Use their titles and respect them. Then the final one is follow-up. Provide additional resources. The final principle of effective communication in customer service, which is under verbal communication. The final principle we are looking at today is provide additional resources, which is follow-up. Provide additional resources where applicable. Inform customers about other resources available to them. Maybe your support websites, your frequently asked questions, just so far to assist them further. It should not just end where the exchange of value ends. Ensure that you follow them up to know how the product they purchase from you, how they are enjoying it, and even if they came in for conflict resolution, once it has been solved, you can still refer them to your other avenues, that the other avenues the organization has provided, to solve customer needs. Maybe if a customer is complaining of long queues and is unable to get the particular service he is trying to get or pay for, after attending to that customer, you can advise him, you can order online, and these are the other technologies that we have put in place to ensure that wherever you are, your purchase can be seamless. Provide additional resources, offer to assist them further. End the conversation by asking if there is anything else you can help them with. This will reinforce your willingness to assist the customer. Make sure you follow up after their purchase, follow up after their complaints have been resolved, just keep following up, keep rendering further assistance. It will make them keep coming back to the organization, and they will keep referring people. Verbal communication in customer service is about more than just exchanging information. It's about providing exceptional experiences. It's about building relationships. By sharpening these skills, these essential verbal communication skills, you will foster your customer loyalty. They'll be able to refer you to others. You create a positive impression in their mind, and you will effectively resolve their concerns. You know, and when a customer spreads your organization's willingness to assist them, spreads that information to others, others will be able to trust your organization as well, even if they don't have a direct relationship with that particular customer. It's important to know that word of mouth is still one of the best selling techniques. It's still one of the best. Even if you're advertising and all that, the fact that somebody can reassure the customer, I mean a customer coming in, whether they are acquainted with the testifier or not, the fact that somebody has enjoyed that service can even fuel the interest of somebody that has not had an encounter with your company to do business with your organization. So this is where we will draw the curtain. Tomorrow we should be looking at non-verbal communication